Yeah, so this is your ship mode now. You understand? So you understand how ship mode is like how your goods were shipped, maybe by standard, by first class, second class, or the rest. So most times before you visualize or analyze your data, you probably want to ask some questions. You understand? And those questions are what will actually prepare you to check your data and try to see the right visuals for what's it called for for your dashboard. You understand? So now imagine if you want to visualize, this is just like a 1 week stuff. This is the end of the training, and it's just for beginners. So I'm not going to like advanced visualization and the rest. Okay, so imagine if you want to visualize our ship mode um, based on sales. So which kind of visual can we use? The first thing you want to do is probably check the unique values in your column. And how do you check it? You just click on this stuff that looks like a triangle inside what's it called inside the square box, and then you want to check the unique. So this gives you the
I can't
unique.
see your screen, sir.
You can't see my screen. I'm using
Yeah.
my network is very strong here. Are you the Addison? Can you see my screen? Okay, is that Addison? My network is strong here.
Maybe you
Florence,
can.
Esther, Abiodun.
Can anybody
Can you
see
see
your
my
screen?
screen? Can you see
Yes,
my
I
screen?
can.
Yeah. So Danny, I think your network is bad.
Ah, it's small.
Eh?
I can see your screen.
Yeah. I can see your screen. Who is that? Okay. No wahala. So if you click on the drop down, you see your first class, your same day, second class, and standard class. So I remember yesterday we talked about selecting the right visuals, right? So for this, when you have 4 classes or when you want have more than 2 or 3 classes, you can't use a pie chart because like even pie chart is not really too advisable for you to use. Most times they do not chart, but when you have more than three, it's better you just stick with a bar chart or a column chart because if it's more than three, then to be hard for people to see. Remember, and the first rule is this: like make sure your dashboard is very simple, understand. And then the second one is ensure that your dashboard is like let it be very easy for someone to draw insight. It's like a joke, you understand? You don't need to explain a joke. And I said those stuff yesterday. And even most of the trainings I've organized, I do tell students to like your dashboard is like a joke. Like you shouldn't spend a lot of time explaining it, you understand? So and people shouldn't spend more time on your dashboard just trying to draw insights. You understand? Like they should be able to see something, even if they don't get a deep insight, but at least let them be able to see some insight. Not like it's just they can't get any insight from it, and then they're just looking at your dashboard and no insight at all. You understand? Yeah. So or just imagine that your bank now, your bank, you have an app right from your bank, and when you probably withdraw, you expect to see that your money, maybe you withdraw 1,000 and then probably you had about 100,000 in your account. You expect to see like 99,000, right? Or imagine if it's just stagnant and then you'll be worried, right? You understand? Because that is just the same way of your dashboard because you can't draw any insight because like just imagine that the insight you're getting from your what's it called, your balance is that okay. If you have the amount of money you have in your bank account determines how you're going to spend. You understand? Like if you have like maybe 1 million, then you can spend more. But when your money is getting close to 10,000, you know that you need to cut your is it coat according to your size, have you? According to your clothes. You understand? So that is the same thing. So your visuals, probably when you're showing it to your CEO or anybody, you want them to draw an insight and probably work based on the insight. And if they can't draw any insight, then it will be useless, right? You understand? That's the same thing. So for this ship now, we can't use a donut chart. It's more than three. So let's use a bar chart, like it's advisable. And bar chart is horizontal, right? Because we read from what's it called? We read from the left to the right, you understand? And even when you're writing, you can't write from the right to the left. And if you read it sales by month and year, you are reading it by sales by month and year. You're not reading year and month by sales. if you are reading year and month price, even as you're even reading this stuff, so you're reading it from left to right, even though you are starting from the back. That is because we read from what? The left to the right, you understand? Left to the right. Yeah. Okay. So let's try to visualize our, what's it called? Our orders, our what's it called? Ship mode by sales. So let's check our ship mode. So these are ship mode, and then by sales. Then let's use a bar chart. You can use what's it called? A clustered bar chart. So you can see now. Now can you see that it's better like this? You can see, okay, sales by ship mode, standard class has the highest sales, followed by second class, and then followed by first class, and followed by CMD as the highest sales based on what? Based on ship mode. But one thing again is when you look at this, sure, you probably see that okay, standard class has the highest, but based on the sales, we can't really judge that okay because we are making enough sales. That might not really translate to profit, right? You understand? So, and that question you may probably want to answer is okay, what's sales by profit? You understand? So, as a data analyst, you probably be asking a lot of questions. Like, and there's a popular saying that says, if you torture your data, the data will what confess. You understand? So, just like now in Nigeria, if you are taken to a police cell or police station, if a policeman torture you, you probably confess, probably say what you did not even do. You understand? Because you understand that's the same thing you do with your data. You ask questions and then like you ask a lot of questions. Okay, so what if you want to get sales based on city? Like you want to get sales based on city so that at least we know that okay, based on this our city, like these are the top cities based on our sales. So that just imagine now if you like in Nigeria we have cities like Lagos, Abuja, Warri, Benin City, I think Ibadan. Yeah, Ibadan. Kano is city. Yeah, I think Kano is also a city something. So like you want to check. So now imagine if your product maybe you are based in Lagos and people that are ordering for your stuff are in Warri. You probably want to establish or open a business in Warri, right? You understand? Based on the visuals. So you can't just say okay because you are maybe from Lagos and then you like Lagos and people in Lagos are not patronizing you and because of sentiment they still want to remain in Lagos. Whereas people in Warrior probably patronizing you more. So you probably want to open a shop in Warrior, right? That's why sometimes when you see that the business moves from one location to the other, like if you open a branch, that is because they have analyzed and saying that okay, seems the people in Warri like our product probably based on some stuff. Imagine if you are selling banga now in Warri, they like banga rice, so they like banga a lot. So if you people in Lagos don't really like banga rice or banga, or people in Delta State and on the southern region of Nigeria, they like what's called banga. So and if you are selling banga, so you probably want to open a shop in Warri, right? You understand? So and how do you get the insights based on what based on the data you have analyzed? So that's the thing, or visualize. Yeah, so let's check sales by city. So for this, we can probably use. So now let's check our city in our data to check if you can use a pie chart. So now, let's see our state city. Sorry. So can you see now that we have a lot? Can we use a pie chart? So someone might say we can use a pie chart. So let's use a pie chart and click on your word donut chart and then move your words, move your city. So there's something called legend. Okay, before I talk about legend, let me move sales to value. So when you need, so can you see now that our sales is 2.3? It's 2.3 million, right? You understand? That's our total sales. But we want to break this down based on what? Based on our cities. You understand? So you move your values to your legend. So legend acts like something that breaks a single stuff into different category. You understand? Take for instance now, maybe you probably sampled a particular company, like you want to get the total salaries that people earn in a particular country, in a particular company. What you probably do is um, maybe interview different employees of that company and probably collect their salaries. But what if you want to now break that total salaries into what's it called into gender based on gender? You understand? What are you going to do? So that's when you now drag your gender to your legend. So legend is like just see it as a way of like breaking a visual into different what's it called? Into different categories. So just as when we drag segment to legend. So can you see now that the single sales that we had has now been broken down into three, right? Because this legend, and you drag your category to your legend because it helps you to like demarcate ish into different what's it called into different segments. You understand? But let's imagine if you want to try to use let's imagine if you want to use city here. So drag city to legend. Can you see now? So Florence, is Florence here? Hello. Okay, Abiodun Akintunde.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want you to see. Can you see my screen?
Hello?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, from this pie chart now, can you tell me the smallest city
Uh,
based on sales?
that's very, very hard.
Yeah, it's very hard
Yeah,
because
very, very hard.
it's yeah that's why when you have multiple like more than three values or category, please use a bar chart. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's hard like I can't even see this is totally useless, right? Because I
Yes.
can't draw any aside from it. Yeah, so can probably want to change it to a clustered bar chart. So like this now you can see, right? And then you can scroll through. But as you see, most times you probably want to just check what's it called the top end. You understand? Like you want to check the top five cities because we can't invest in all the cities, right? We want to check the top five. I don't know if you're following. We want to only check the top five cities so that we can know the top five cities and then we can spread our investment into those top five cities. Because there's no need for us to check all the cities. We want to check the cities that are probably bringing in more sales, right? So how can we do that? Then that's where we, that is where what is called a filter comes into play. So filters are just like now, like when we're growing up, sometimes we want to drink Gary and maybe the Gary contains some dirt. You understand? We want to probably filter through, right? You understand? So you might probably want to filter, right? You understand? So filtering is like you removing what is not needed. Like you want to filter out the dirty water. Now, like if you want to drink Gary, I believe virtually every one of us drink Gary. Nobody can tell me that he doesn't drink Gary. Even now, this thing from Ghana self can't tell me that. I believe Gary is common to everybody. You understand? So, like if your Gary is dirty, you probably want to sieve it out. Like you understand, that's like a filter. And also in chemistry, to now we talk about
Yeah.
filtration. Hello, we talk about filtering. We talk about we did filtration techniques, right? When we try to separate water from chalk, and then we probably brought kind of like a funnel paper, and then we poured it on the paper, and then water we what will happen now? This chalk will just be on top, and then the water will flow through. So that is just like a filter. So what filter does is like you probably want what you are doing when you're trying to filter the chalk and the water is you need the water, right? You don't need the chalk. You understand? So filter is like okay, you want to visualize a particular data. So you use a filter to um, focus, like try to focus on your what, on your visual. You understand? So that's the thing. Is it clear? I believe it's clear, right? If it's not clear, please let me know. Okay. Maybe if it's not clear, you guys can watch the recording and then can message me later on. So we want to limit this thing to top five cities based on sales because obviously, if you are showing this to a CEO doesn't care about all the cities. He cares about cities that will
I
help.
said though I can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen. Is your network? My network here is very, very strong. Esther, can you see my screen? Abiodun, can you see my screen? Kola, can you see my screen? Addison, can you see my screen? Daniel, can you see my screen? I believe they can, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
I
yes.
can see.
Yeah. Lawrence, maybe you can leave the. Okay, yeah. So anytime you're not seeing my screen, you say that is your network because my network is very, very strong. So you probably can leave the meeting and join back again. You understand?
this is this power
Why are
trip.
you laughing? Who is laughing? Addison, are you the one laughing? What happened? Okay. Yeah, sure. So we can continue, right? So this is where filters will come into place, and then we want to filter on this visual, right? So filter on this visual. I want to filter our city, right? Based on what? Based on sales, right? You understand? So you click on filters. If it's not open, you expand it. Expand your filters, and then based on which your city, right? So you have something called basic filtering, like you just want to select a particular city and focus on, or you understand. So you have Aberdeen. So this says for what's it called, for a company in US, yeah, or UK. Aberdeen, I think Aberdeen is in UK. Let me check. Yeah, Cambridge. So yeah, it's in UK. You understand? Yeah. So check your basic filtering. So there's advanced filtering to color and probably write some rules. You understand? So you use top N. You understand? So you are showing items top what? So top five, right? So you type five, and then by what? Because you want to check you want to visualize the top five cities by sales. So that's why it's telling by what value. So our data fields here. So remember it's by sales, right? You type your sales here, and then you click on your apply filter. And what happens? It has already applied a filter. So now you can see that you can't scroll through, right? It's just showing you the five. So your CEO will probably be like happy with you, right? You understand? Yeah. So then the next one, we want to check the bottom. So now we are going to change this, right? Like this is just sales by city. But remember what we did was to check the top five cities by sales. So we need to format this and change the title from sales by city, right? Because it's misleading, right? Yeah. So you go to your format that looks like this pink brush. So you click on format, and you go to your title, click on your title, format. Look at this, format is like paint. Like if you build a house, you probably want to format it by painting it and like make it beautiful. You understand? Yeah. So if you don't even remember anything, I believe we have seen, like at least you have seen where painters paint buildings. So should be conversant with this brush. But if you are not, you could just Google search and check for brush that they used to paint. You understand? Maybe for those that are Ajebo in our midst, like us, we are not Ajebo. So okay, so now title by title text. So you can change this towards top five cities by sales. By sales. Yeah, sure. So and we want to check for bottom five cities by sales. So instead of building this stuff from scratch, like we could do what we could copy this, right? So let's just copy. So you can copy a visual and then click on this and Control V, a normal C and Control V that you have been doing in Excel and so the same thing. This is from Microsoft, so PowerBi is from Microsoft. So most of the stuff that I have done with even I think Control C and Control V is common, not just to Microsoft product, like even on WhatsApp, so you can paste and what's it called, and copy and paste. You understand? So we already have this visual, so we don't need to recreate this. So we want to get the bottom 5 cities by sales. So what are we going to do? So we just click on this. We already have cities here. We already have sales. So all we just need to do is what? Just click on what? This filter. Now this filter is working based on city top 5 by sales. So you click on this to format. We are on top N. So show items. You go to bottom and then click on 5 based on what sales, right? Because we need to see cities that are not doing well. So that at least maybe we can close down the shops there and invest our money in what's in top 5 cities by sales. Because it won't be nice if you're spending your money on a place that's not really profitable. Yeah, sure. There's something called long-term investment, but imagine if you're a startup, you're just growing. You don't want to waste all your money on long time, right? Well, those that might likely want to do long time is people that have money, you understand? So let's apply filters. But if you look at this now, you see that this thing is like it's looking like this top 5 cities by say. So what can we do to make it different? So there's something called sorting by descending. So what's the difference between ascending and descending? Hello, who is this person with this number? Who is the person with this number? Number 2300. Is this your phone number or your account number? Hello, number man. I mean number woman. I don't know you. Who is this? Two something 2300152006. Like this number I'm saying. If you can hear me, can you please turn on your microphone? Oh, I think this man is in ghost mode. So how do you saying? What's the difference between ascending and descending? Like what's ascending, what's descending? And what's the difference between ascending and descending?
Ascending is maybe from the smallest to the highest, and then descending is from the highest to the smallest.
Okay, yeah, sure. So with your bar chart too, you can also do what you remember yesterday when we talked about selecting the right visual, we talk about ranking, like you can use bar charts for ranks and stuff. So you can sort descending, can sort by ascending. So now you can see now these are your, but this is showing you top 5 cities by cities, but we need to change it to what bottom 5 cities, right? So go back to our formats and then we'll go to our title and then we change it to what bottom 5 cities by sales. 5 cities by sales, right? So click on, yeah, so it has changed, right? You understand? And again, if you look at this now, we already know that this top 5 cities by sales, so we don't need this city and sales, right? So let's go to formats and then go to our x-axis and then do what again? Then remove the title from x-axis. Yeah, so this is your x-axis, right? You understand? Then your y-axis, then your y-axis, then your y-axis, you go to your, so that, because it's like tautology. If you have city here and you already have your title, top 5 cities by six, what, like, why do you need to, I don't know, like to me, I don't think it's needed, right? So switch off the title and now everything looks fine. So I want to show you how to do the bottom 5 cities. That will be class 4 for you guys. If you are rewatching the video, remove the city, remove the sales. Okay. Okay, so sales by ship mode 2, remove the ship mode, remove the sales. That will be an assignment. Remove the mode 2. So now I want to duplicate this. So we want to visualize based on profits. So we can rename this sheet to what? Sales, right? And then we can to what? Profits, right? Profit, right? Is profit, right? You understand? Profit, right? Are we following? Are you following? So we want to get for profits. So what we can do, instead of building the stores from scratch, what can we do? We can just what duplicate this page. Oh, okay. So remove this. Yeah, delete. You want to duplicate the page with all the visuals. So when you click on duplicate, just hold on. Okay, so duplicate of sales. So we can change this towards profit, right? Profit. Okay, so we don't want to build these stores from scratch again. So what are we going to do? Remember, this is sales by month, right? So just click on these visuals, go to your visualization, and instead of putting your values in sales, put your what profit in sales, right? So you put your profits what in values, and now you can see profit by month and year. But remember, we are going to change this title, like right? So I will just change the title for this, and you guys will change the title for the rest. In your assignments, yeah. Okay. This is the title, and then so this will be. Oh, it hasn't even changed. You understand? So profit by month and year. Yeah. So, but you need to remove profit and month, right? So sales by month, ship month. What are you going to do? Just click on this visual, go back to your fields pane, and then remove sales from values and put sales put profit, right? Put profit, right? Profit in what? Profit in values. So you can see that standard class is still the most profitable, followed by what? Same day. Yeah. So top five cities by sales. So you know what you do now. You change it by what? So for this top five cities, I'll just do top five cities by sales. You guys will work on bottom five cities by sales. Okay. So yeah, so your values now, you remove it from sales, right? You put profit, right? But remember, we have already done what? We have already filter, right? For top five. So this thing is still working based on sales, but we need to sort this based on what? Profit, right? You understand? If you're not following, please let me know so that okay. So you can check your what your top five cities instead of profit, you can use sales, right? So by value, this is by what? By what? By profit. So apply filter, right? So apply the filter so you can see now based on this, you see now New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco, Detroit. So you know you need to change the title, right? I won't teach you how to do that. And then bottom five cities by cities, you are going to do that by yourself. It's an assignment for you guys. So you work on it. The best way to learn is by you sound like working. Okay, now we have our sales and
So,
profits.
please, hello, excuse me.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to know something. Is the what the profit hasn't been calculated already, or we are calculating in the process?
No, that's been calculated already.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, if you check the Excel worksheet, you see that profit is already there. So it was given to us like that because you can't calculate. How do you want to know the profit? For us to get the profit, probably we need to get the selling price and the cost price, right? So maybe someone has done that for us on our behalf. Are you following? Yeah, sure. So sorry, just hold on. Okay. So the other stuff you could actually do with PowerBI. Take for instance, you want to get the total sales as a card visual. So let's drag this down. Okay, or let's try it in under visual. We want to get so card visual, like I said yesterday. What is the card visual for? Card visual is for you to, if you want to visualize a single object, like maybe sales, profit, like you want it to be returned. Maybe some stuff you perform an aggregate function on what's on a particular column. Maybe you sum the columns together, or you divided the column, or you did a lot of stuff, so you want to return the value. Remember, sometimes maybe you're looking at some COVID-19 dashboard and you see something like this. Let me just cut, and then let's drop sales here. Let's drop sales here. So can you see here? You see that you have what 2.3 M. So you can use it to visualize numbers of people that have COVID-19. You understand? Yeah, sure. So this is a card visual. You understand? Yeah, and then so these are just, I'm just introducing you guys to this because your project, you guys will need to work on a project. So this is just like an introduction. Oh, so you know the truth is when you are clicking on something, if you click on a visual, if you want to change, you just click on it and then it will change. So that means let's change it back. It has changed now. Let's change it back to card. So if you don't want it to change, just click on an empty space in your visual and then click on the gauge. So what was it? This is a gauge, right? This is a gauge, right? Remember, we know what gauge is, right? Gauge is like if you have, at least virtually every one of us have been into a car, right? Some even have driven a car before, like you understand.
Hello.
Yes.
Please, can you draw back on the sales card again, like from the scratch, from the beginning?
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, let me try to do another stuff. Let's do for profit. So you click on your card, and then do what? Move it up, yeah. Move it up here, and then move it up here, and then you do what? Just drag. So these are your fields. So just drag profit to fields. So you can see now you have 286.40 thousand. So K is thousand, right? You understand? So this is your profit. Just click on card. So now you want to see this as a text. So you can put this on your visual, you understand? And then your boss can see that, okay, total sales is what? It's 2.30 M. Okay. Yeah, let's do gauge. So after doing gauge, we talk about slicers. I think yesterday I said you guys, okay, it's not you guys, so it's for the guys that are training physically. So no worry. I thought I gave you guys an assignment to check the difference between filters and slicer. I think I told you guys, right? I don't know. Okay. So gauge now, you understand what gauge is, right? Like gauge is like for your car now. If you have seen a car now, like the fuel gauge, like it tells you, okay, my friend, if the gauge is getting low, like it's like this thing is getting almost red, you understand? Yeah, so that's the thing. So that's the key. So some, what's it called? To check, okay, your budget. Imagine now, maybe you plan to save up to like 1 million. Maybe because of some challenges, and a lot of things, you're able to only save 100,000. That means you did not meet your target, right? You understand? So you can use that gauge to check how far. And then the gauge too can be used to track people's performance. Like, okay, you had to answer or solve like 10 questions, but you're able to solve only 5. So you have underperformed, right? Yeah, so let's try to drag our sales, right? Yeah, so we can go to format, click on gauge as is. Minimum is what? Minimum is 0. Let's assume minimum is 0. Maximum, let's assume that maximum for our sales ought to be like the amount of sales we ought to make in a year is around 3.0. Okay, so we ought to make like the total, the maximum. This maximum is telling you that, okay, this ought to be our budget to 300 million. Then what is our target? Okay, the maximum is 300, like 300 million is like the maximum you can make. But our target now, let's see, our target is 3.5, right? So you have to type this in millions because your ads is in millions, right? Well, it can't be 3.5 because the maximum, let's assume the maximum that you can make in a year is 5 million. So at least you don't want to be too much or you don't want to set unnecessary expectation. So let's say our target is 3 million out of 5 million that we can make. So you see now that this is your target. So you visualize and tell people that, okay, wow, we did not meet our target, right? You understand? Because this is 3 million. And then, yeah, you remember this thing is showing us as 2.30M, but what if we don't want to do this? So just come to format, come to data label, right? Then display unit. If it's auto, that means Power BI happy to we sum it in millions, but if you can see the display unit is in millions, you can put it in billions. So can you see now that in billions you have made 0.00 billion? You understand? And then in trillion, voila, this one has 0 trillion, right? So if it is not to Power BI, we sum it in millions. But you can say none. You can put it in thousands, so you can say none, right? And then to just show him your figures. But with this now, we're having sales. We are just having sales as a number. Why not we have our sales as what's it called, a currency? So like we can have our sales as currency, right? So click on sales, then go to click on sales. You see format. You go to format, and then go to general towards currency, right? So you can see now that you have this thing in dollars, and then maybe you don't want to show the decimal point, or maybe you want to change the decimal point to 2. So what are you going to do? Put it in 2 decimal places. So can see now that you have .86. So for this one to profit cannot just be a number now. Like it's a currency. So let's use our profit as dollar. Now. Yeah. So and then let's leave this. So you can see now that your dollar is here. And then you see now that dollar is already here. So for your vision now. So those are little stuff like you guys will need to be aware of. And then this is where you format your visuals. You can even format this stuff and then go to what's it called title. So now let's add the title. So what will be our title? Title is what? Profits, right? Profits generated in just profit generated. So I won't tell you how to do the sales. So sales, you need to do what? You need to, what's it called? You need to add your title for sales by yourself as an assignment. So if you don't want the profit to show on there because you already have profit generated, why are you still having profit here? So go to category under format, then turn it off. Yeah, are you following?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Wait, Esther, are you Oyishi? Are you Oyishi on WhatsApp?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, fine, no problem. Okay, no problem. I just want to be sure that the Oyishi is following because I used to see question from the Oyishi. Okay, no problem. Okay, so like format this, I've showed you guys how to change the title right for this one. You can change your own title here, and then like here, this your title saves this. Can check, you can change your title to anything here, maybe sales by maybe sales gauge or something like okay, sales ratio or something, you understand? Okay, so let's go back to our sales, and then let's try to add what's it called, slicers to filters. But filters now is when you are building that you add your filters. Like as you remember when we added filter to this was why we are building. So anybody that is viewing this can only see what's except I send you this Power BI file. You can't modify the filter, right? For this particular visual. Sliders are similar to filter, but the difference is that for sliders, just think of sliders as your slice of bread now. You understand? Like I have a cousin that if you give her bread or loaf of bread that is sliced, she will only pick. I don't know if she's still doing that, but I think then when she was growing up, she only picked the first and the last. You understand? So and that is all. So now with slides now you can see that okay if you maybe you went, maybe you traveled, and then you have junior brothers, and they're like, oh, maybe brother Makitunde or sister Florence, please, if you are coming, buy bread for us. And you're like, okay, you have like maybe 6 brothers and then or 6 siblings, brothers and sisters, yes, and junior ones. So you bought a loaf of bread, but then I think it was 24 ball. I don't know. Nigeria economy has made it to be very small now. Yeah, so then maybe you just okay for 6 of them is 4 4, and then for each person now because slice is easier for you to divide than when you just buy a loaf of bread that is not sliced, you understand? So when you are doing slicer now, if you probably tell maybe you have a junior brother that bears Okon, and then Okon now, out of you have 6 siblings, Okon needs to pick 4, right? Out of 24. Because when you divide this thing into 6, that's 4, 4, 4, 4 per each person, or per each sibling, or per each brother or anyone. So now the slicer now, if you tell Okon to pick his own share, if Okon can only pick because Okon knows maybe you now label it like you want to be very meticulous and then you label the where Okon's bread starts from till when Buhari's sorry that I'm using Buhari till when Buhari's what's it called slice started from. So now Okon, if Okon is to pick his own, like if Okon is to slice his own now, Okon will only pick that and then pick his own, and that is what he eats. He can't eat others, right? So that's the same thing about slicers. So with slicers, you slice your visuals, and then you just want to see for a particular person of a particular entity. Yeah. I don't know if what I said is okay, but if it's not okay, you can ask me a question or you can do more research on YouTube. Yeah. So let's try to use what's it called? A slicer. So this is slicer. So remember, see what happened when we click on this and then we try to click on slider. This thing changed, right? So that means if you want to choose any visual, remove this. So now let's click on an empty space and then click on slicer. Yeah, sure. So for slicer, slicer now, what do you want to use? We want to slice based on what? We want to slice based on segments. You understand? Like for each segment now, I want to slice. So what are we going to do? So we'll drag our year, right? Or our segments to where? To our fields. So filters are still like your normal visuals. So you can format, can do anything. So we want to change the rotation. We want our slicer to be like a button. So change it to drop down or yeah, leave it as a list. So you can, if you click on consumer, what happens? Can you see that it's changing? So it's focusing. So this thing you are seeing here now, let me do something so that you can see. Let me try to drag this down and drag this down. Let me try to drag this down and then I'll try to copy what's it called? Copy this, copy these cells. Control C and then come to sales because the card writes and then you Control V. Oh, what happened? Okay, just hold on. Let me remove this. Let me go back here and then let me copy, right? Copy it, copy visuals. And then yeah, sure. Okay, let's try to click on consumers. So can you see now that there's a change, right? Can you see the change? So when you click on consumers, so what this thing is doing is it's focusing the attention on all consumers, like for each consumer segment now. Okay, so for consumer now we're able to generate about 1 point something million for our sales, and then so this is showing you for each sales by month and year based on this segment of consumer. You understand? So, but this ones won't change now because it doesn't affect like the segment consumer doesn't affect this stuff. You understand? Because we already applied the filter already. And then you can click on corporate, you can click on home office. Can you see now that? So home office generated about $429,000. So consumer generated the highest, right? Followed by corporate, and then home office. But we can change this orientation like this instead of using this. Let's try to format it. So go to what general, click on orientation from vertical to horizontal. So can you see now that this thing looks like a button, and then drag your slicer here, and then drag your visual here. Yeah, then I can do, or just click on consumers, right? And then it's black, right? If you now want to unselect it, just double click, and then you're back to what your 2 point something million for all these visuals, right? You understand? Yeah. So let's try to do. So now we are done with these slicers and what we want to do, right? These are slicers, and then let's try to do some our title, because when you're building a visual or a dashboard, you want to add a title, like what is this dashboard about, like a general title, right? Yeah. So what are we going to do? Click on insert, right? Click on text box. So the Power BI will not really, probably, let me see if we can still cover Python this week. Maybe just a brief introduction, because it was actually promised that I will introduce you guys to Python. So today's Wednesday, maybe on Friday or on Saturday. Yeah, I'll introduce you guys to Python. Okay, so we can call this anything, like let's just say this is intercode sales what report. So where did we go to get this stuff? We just went to insert, right? Text box. So if you want to add text like to your visual, so we can highlight this and then click on Siego Light or Siego Bold, Sigo Bold, and then change the text form. Like this is the normal font that you change. I just think of this font as your what you change in Microsoft Word. So we want to use red, and then we can also add a logo. Like if you have a logo, let's say, I think guys have. Let me try to insert image. So it could. .png. Okay, let's try to open. Yeah, so now we can insert the image of your company or the company you're working for here. You understand? So this is your analysis, and then you drag this here. So and then you drag this here like this, it could, and then you can drag this down, and then this is your sales, right? So you can drag this sales, and drag this sales like this, right? So you understand? So and then you sniffing this. So this was Itaku sales, right? There are different ways to arrange this stuff. This is just a crude way, you understand? Like probably want to do more research on how to arrange your dashboard. You understand? Like yeah, so you can put Itaku and then your customer stuff. But what if you want to change the background of our visualization? What are we going to do? What you want to change the background of our visualization? What are we going to do? So we can remove this, right? Because we have a lot of features here and it's getting clustered. So so what if you want to change, what's it called? The view, the background, from white to another color. We can change it to purple, right? We can change it to black. You understand? Yeah. So can you see? So this is visual now. You have changed the background. So I want to show you how to do that for profits. I've showed you. So for profit, that's changed. That's because what you copied, right? You copied. Oh, sorry, it affects all this stuff because this is a view. It affects. It's a global. What's it called? A global setting. So everything will just change to black. Yeah, and then you can click on view and click on view, and then click on customize current theme. So to customize current theme, so text, you can probably customize your text. So the font size and the font color here now is white. But imagine if you change it to red, what will happen? It's red, right? So if you click on apply, what will happen? To change to red, let's come back to current, customize current theme, and then come to text. So let's come to title. So you come to title and change it to red, and then click on apply, all happen. So now you see that everything has changed. So you can now see red, profit by year, profit by ship mode, and everything. And then for sales, see now that you have a tackle sales report, segments, sales and ship mode. So everything is now red. So you could customize this anyhow you want, you understand, or any way you want. Yeah, sure. So and then the next one again. So we are, what if you want, because when you probably publish your publish your Power BI sheet or workbook to Power BI server, you probably want to visualize it. Remember, we said you can't visualize, what's it called? You can't visualize or sorry, you can't build your visuals with a phone, right? You understand? So you can't build with your phone. So what can you do? You can only do what? You can only view what you have built. You understand? Because like even on systems, for those that are using, you know, how many minutes it takes you to open Power BI. So imagine now to open it on the phone. Like what kind of phone? You know that phone, you can't compare any phone, even if it's an iPhone to a laptop, no matter what. Yeah. Because if you overload an iPhone will just hang as the truth. So so that is why you can, it will even be hard. Imagine you are building the visual on a small phone. Imagine when this system that we are building on, the screen is this small. Someone's trying to use television to extend the screen. Imagine you're not building it on a phone. Like your life will just be miserable, right? You understand? So now I want to change it to mobile layout. Like I want to see, like, now this is desktop, right? This is how it should show mobile. I want to fit. Remember, sometimes web developers most time they do something that is called SEO, or no, it's not SEO. It's about what's it called, mobile optimization. So like they optimize their website for mobiles. Imagine, you know, sometimes if you go to some website on your system, it will display very well, and then when you try to use your phone, it will just be zigzag. You understand? So you don't want your visual to look anyhow. So how will it look like on mobile? You want to specify it here. So that Power BI will not automatically be to do. So the first thing we are going to use is what says by motor and here the title right off. We can put our image here, logo here. Hope you guys are following. Okay, there's a recording, so I guess can watch the recording. So you can drag your this thing here. This is your logo. Drag your sales by month, which is your visual here, and then drag this down. Drag it down. Yeah. Then maybe what do you want to see again? Our text box, right? Okay, we have already dragged our text box. Okay, no. After our logo, we drag our text box, right? Our title. Remember, our title is our text box. Like we use text box as our title, right? Then next it says by month. This is what you want people to see when they are viewing it. Then you move your words, you move your sales by this to here. So sales by ship mode. You can add your slicer too, but for this you may not have slicer. Then top is by sales. Then you drag your bottom 5 cities by what? By cities, right? You understand? So bottom 5 cities by what? By using by sales. Remember, we also change this now. Yeah, to sales. So this is how this thing will be displayed to people that are viewing this stuff on mobile phone. You understand? Yeah. So this is mobile layout. So let's go back to what's it called? Our system layout. Yeah. Then let's talk about how to add a button. Like maybe we have to sheet, right? Sales and profit. So how can we navigate and then probably press on a button that will take us from one particular what's it called from one particular sheet to the other. So let's go to insert. And then if you click on insert, what can you do? Let's try to add a button, right? So let's add a right button. So this right button now will take us to the next sheet, right? So I want to add this to the next sheet. Oh, sorry. So now go to your action. What action do you want this thing to perform? Click on the action. So the action is what? Page navigation, right? So for which page? Let it navigate towards profit, right? So when you click on it, what happens? It takes you towards to profit. Now I want to go back to sales. What are you going to do? Add buttons, right? Go to left arrow and then click on this. Then go to your action, on your action. So what do you want this thing to do? Yes? Just hold on, please. Okay, yeah, good evening everyone. Sorry for the interruption. I had to attend to an urgent matter over here. Yeah. Okay, so this is what for back button, right? You want this button to take you back to the previous visual. So you go to your words. You see something like when you click on this button, you see format button, go to action, right? So what action do you want this thing to take? You could say back, but let's just say paid navigation. And then your destination is what? Yeah. So when you click on this, what will you do? To take you over to sales, and then you can click on this and it take you to where control click. So that stuff you could actually do. And then what again? Okay, so I think we are partly done with what we have to do. Okay, then there's something we can do. Okay, should we do that today or we should do that on Friday? Maybe we'll do that on Friday. That's about modeling. Before we go for today, let's try what can we try to do? Okay, let's try to forecast. So there's something about forecasting. We talk about this. We can do machine learning with Power BI. So machine learning like forecasting using time series analysis. So like take for instance, you are the CEO of ShopRite, and then over time, over the years, you have plotted it over the years. You want to check how your sales will probably do like in the next 5 years. That's what's called forecasting. I think that is called predictive. Yeah. So that's called predictive modeling. So you understand. Let's go to page 2. Yeah, based on, let's click. Then let's try to visualize what's it called. Yeah, based on what's based on so you go to your other date, you see that there's an hierarchy, date hierarchy, then drag your year to your axis, and then drag your sales to your values. Yeah. So now imagine if you want to forecast for the year 2019, because let's even try using profits because this sales looks somehow. Okay, so we have some. So we want to forecast for the year for profit now from year 2018 to 2020. Like, how will our sales look like? So let me make it bold. Yeah, so can you see analytics here? So click on analytics, then go to forecast. So we know what forecast is now. We talk about weather forecast, like maybe what will be the weather tomorrow, and some use that to plan. You understand? It might not be too accurate, but at least it's kind of near. So can you see now what's happening? So this is predicting based on 10 years from 2015 to when? To 2025, right? You understand? But what if you just want to use 5 years? You can change this to 5 years. You understand? So you can change it to 5 years. And so your confidence interval, like how confident do you want this line to be? Like sure, like okay, for surety, like okay, I'm certain, like certainty, you understand? So click on apply. So now this will be from 2017 towards to 2022. So 2018, 2020, 2022. So now you can see how far your sales will go. To go up, right? High. So you can see how it's going, like it will go high and then just go straight. So this is how you can focus in what's it called, Power BI. Yeah, so okay, yeah, so maybe we'll talk about modeling in the next class. So and this 823, I'm trying to see what I can add so that we'll at least end around close to 9 o'clock something. Okay, so then there's something in Power BI. Take for instance now we want to change. Imagine now you have a data and you want to change what's it called values here. Maybe take for instance second class ought to just be second. Maybe you collected a particular data set and you see second class, but maybe what you just wanted to see is just second instead of second class. So what are you going to do? There's something in Power BI that you could do. Just click on this, go towards you can find and replace. So what are we going to do? Replace values. So click on replace values. So value to find. What value do you want to find? Second. This is similar to replace in what's it called in Python, right? Second class and then just change it to second. So when Power BI finds all these values and replaces it with what with this second, you can also go to advanced options. So match entire set content, replace using special characters. You could replace using, so you can insert a special character, a carriage return on 9 feet, non breaking space, or a tab or something. So, but we will not be going with that. So let's just click on OK. So can you see now everything has changed to what? Second, standard class, standard class. Everything is not second, right? From second class is not second. You understand? Yeah. So those are things you could do with Power BI. And then okay, so maybe you want to check what's it called? Your valid error. I want to check values that are not known, like columns that are not known in Power BI. You can go to your view tab, click on your column quality. If you on click, you see that you can't see that. Then click on your view, click on column quality. You can see, okay, now you can know that okay, 100% valid. That means there's no non-values. And then what's this saying? Error is 0% because like other dates contains text. You shouldn't find a number there, or you shouldn't find a decimal here, right? You understand? If there's a decimal, then there'll be an error, right? You understand? So error is saying 0%. And then if you want to check your formula bar, just click on formula, and then you can see your formula bar, like formula bar now next to you understand. Okay. So what if you want to add a column? What if customer name now I want to, what's it called? Divide it into first name and last name. So you can click on customer and click on split column, right? So you want to divide it into first name. Maybe you want to use the first name. Maybe like for me now, maybe when I want to send people mail, like code mail, I probably do something like get their first name or their surname, because most times people like to be called by their surname. You understand? So like when people insert, like when people register for code events, sometimes they put their surname and their name together. But when I want to use it, I just get their first name. You understand? And then like first name or last name. Sometimes, most time when you receive email, like some official email, and they say dear Florence or dear it's Marketunde or dear Esther. You understand? So, well, with your surname, you understand? Because when you call people with those names, like they are like, okay, I think this person actually knows me. So we want to split this now. What are you going to do? Go to split columns. This is similar to, so if you have worked with Python before, this is like splitting now. Split by what? Delimiter, lowercase. So let's split by delimiter. So yeah, space, right? Each occurrence of the delimiter, and let's use that. Let's use leftmost delimiter. So for the first one, and then into quote character. So let's click on OK. So now can you see now customer name 1 is clear, customer name 2 is what Gute, and then we can have this, and then you see that you can split it. So these are things you could do in Power BI. You understand? Then let's assume we want to our discount now. So for each discount now, because if you try to for this discount now, we know that we gave discount to some persons. For each sale that we made, we gave, let's just assume discount is 1, right? We did not, like there's no discount, right? Your results will be the same this, right? Like if you multiply by 1, it will give you 261.96. So what this thing is saying, like discount is 0.45. Like this can be in percent. So you probably want to multiply this and this. But if you multiply this and this, if you multiply sales and this, what will it give you? To give you 0, right? Because 0 is like there's no discount, right? You understand? So we want to replace all the occurrence of what 0 with 1, right? So that when we multiply this, you can know the total amount of money that we sold this. So let's replace values to find is what 0. Replace it with 1, right? So click OK. So now let's get our total sales. Like total sales, you understand? Because if you multiply by 0, this will give you 0. So you think your sales is just 0. So we want to add a new column and discount together so that we can get what's it called sales discount, sales quantity, and what and discount, so that we can get our total what's it called total sales, right? You understand? So click on quantity, click on sales, and then click on add column. So we want to add a column. So go to standard and click on multiply. So you can see now that this is your multiply, right? So multiplication is by 1. So this count is just this. But for this one now, this one has 0.45. You can see now that this is what this times this times this is what 0.45, right? And then you can see your apply steps here. They are here. So you can click on this to go back. So apply steps are steps that you have taken. You can click on this. So if you click on this, you are back to our previous step. You understand? Am I too fast? Well, we only have 3 persons here. Okay, maybe they watch those others will watch this stuff. So yeah, so click on your quantity, control click on discount, control click on your sales. What are you going to do now? Click on add column, go to click on add column, click on this, click on this, click on discount, and then click on add column. Click on standard, click on multiply. So multiply, we multiply both the three columns together and give you this answer. So you can change this to what? Your sales, right? Total sales. Total sales, right? You understand? So that's stuff you can do in Power BI. And then, so what if, okay, probably I will teach you guys. Should I teach you guys DAX now? DAX. Okay, let's just write some DAX formulas. Now we can close and apply, right? So what if we want to check? So now what if we want to check the difference between our order date and our ship date? Like we want to know, okay, based on our order date, when was this thing shipped, to know if we are kind of like doing well, like based on our order date and our ship date. So what can we do? So we could write a little DAX. Maybe I was talking about DAX on Friday, but for this class, before the class ends, let's talk about some DAX formulas where you can get, based on order dates, you can subtract order dates from your ship date. You understand? And then calculate this stuff. So now let's try to click on add column, custom columns. So now let's do this. New column is order length, right? So order length, right? So it's equal to what? Order date order date dot year. So dot year. Order date minus what? Minus what? Ship date, right? Click on OK. So this is just showing you what's in minus 3.00. So now let's remove this. Remove. So now let's try to create a measure. So we are going to create a measure. Let's close and apply. Yeah, so let's go back to our visual and then okay, still. So what we want to do is based on a customer ordered for something, like when you're doing a ship it, you want to check the difference between the stuff and see how far, like check like our what's it called? Our like the time difference it takes. Sometimes you order for some product online and before you get it, it will take some time, like when they will ship it. So you want to get how fast are we shipping our products, like you understand, like the latency between our order dates or our orders and our shipping, you understand. So we want to actualize a low latency, right? Yeah, latency is like the time it takes. Yeah. So now let's try to create a measure. We are going to use what is called DAX. So DAX is what is called data analysis of expression, data analysis expression. So we want to create a measure, a new measure. So the difference between a new measure and a new column is the measure is still inside your table, but it's not part of your original table in Power Query. Like it's here because you can use the measure to visualize. So now let's do something like some X. So new measure, let's click on this new measure. Click on new measure. What's all this? Where's new measure? Okay, let's create a new measure. So creating a new measure, what's the name of our new measure? Let's call it latency, shipping latency, right? Shipping latency is what? Shipping latency is equal to what? It's equal to, let's use some X. So some X is like you're summing based on your words on a row, you understand, because you want to subtract, right? So you can do sum x what your table is what orders, right? Orders, and then your columns that you want to subtract is what shipping orders, ship dates, your order ship dates. Dot what? Can you see now? You want to check, is it dot here? Let's use dot day, right? Because I want to check the day between, and then let's try to use orders, orders what? Order date, right? The date for so that dot what? Dot the day, right? So let's run this. So we have our measures to check. Click on shipping latency based on ship mode. Let's try to use ship mode. So let's check our latency based on ship mode, right? So you can see now that standard class has the highest what latency, right? Based on second class and same day, right? You don't want same day to be to have a higher one now, you understand? Because standard are people that pay for standard, like they are not paying any money. And that's why you see that standard people, the shipping latency, sometimes they want to buy something like when I was to buy my laptop, I wanted to use Amazon and they were like, I can actually use, I think a fast track. I think fast track is 18 days, and then the normal one, standard one is 30 days. We actually ended up buying it from a store, so that's the thing. So we can use a donut share, but if you look at it now, this thing is very short. So that's why when it's four, like when it's more than three, please use a bar chart. So now let's use what's it called? A cluster chart. So you see now that shipping latency by ship mode, the highest is standard class, while same day is very small, right? So you can see that standard class is 3,000. That means the shipping latency by ship mode is very high for standard class, followed by second class, first class, and same day. Like you don't even want to expect to see like same day higher, right? Yeah. So right, save your Power BI for today. Yeah. So thank you very much, Addison, Esther, Kola, Daniel,
Thank you
Abiodun.
so much.
Yeah. So you guys have been like a motivation for me to continue. At least you guys coming around every day. It has been, yeah, you guys have been a motivation, and that's been like you guys have been boosting my morale to continue the training, honestly. So thank you, and I hope after
You're
this
welcome,
one
sir.
month,
You're welcome.
yeah, I hope after this 1 month, you guys climb higher.
Yes.
But this is not the end, so we still have Friday and Saturday. Saturday will be the last day for this training, and hopefully it will be the last day in the month of July. Yeah, so Sunday will be the day that you guys will do projects. So that is if I can probably sort you guys into group and then you present on Sunday, or if it's not possible, maybe Tuesday, the first Tuesday in the month of August, you guys will just do presentation, and then I hope to see you guys climbing higher in your career. Thank you very much. Bye bye. So I'll share the video with
Thank you too. God bless.
you guys in the group. Yeah.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.